Here's another episode of, and that's why I'm still single. Have you ever been stood up? Now, I got a couple of these stories for you. I'll just throw them both into one venue here for you. One of them, fella asked me out. He was from one of them chat rooms on the internet, which I've eventually learned to just stop going to because it was a big old waste of my time. But he asked me out, and the restaurant was maybe, I lived way out in the country, so most everything was going to be a ways off, but it was about 20 miles to get to the restaurant. And I dressed up, and it wasn't a fancy restaurant, and I didn't dress real fancy, but, I wasn't in jeans. I was wearing a nice outfit, and wants to meet me at a Frisch's, so we go out to this, or I go out to this Frisch's, go in, left my name at the desk, said somebody'd be meeting me. Didn't show. I sat there for an hour. I thought that was plenty of time enough. Bought myself a couple sodas while I was sitting there. Never did see him, nothing. No show. And when I got back, there was no excuse, there was no messages, nothing. Then there's the one where makes the date. Give him my address so that he can come pick me up for the date. I'm watching out the window, to see when he's going to show up. And I watched and I watched and I watched. And about 15 minutes after he was supposed to have been there, I see this truck go down the road in front of my house. Real slow. It goes down at the end of the road, turns around, comes back, drives past the house real slow. And then disappears. And I thought, well, you reckon that was him? I lived on a back road, so, traffic wasn't real heavy. So the next day, I'm mad. So I messaged him and I said, do you have any reason, a good reason, why you didn't show up yesterday? And he says, I didn't have my cell phone with me. I wasn't sure that I had the right address. I drove past what I think might have been your house, but I wasn't sure. So I just turned around and came back. So I just hung up. I mean, what was that? He didn't like where I lived, or didn't like the looks of my house, or got scared because he might go on a date, or what? Your guess is as good as mine. But I thought, okay, you didn't bring your cell phone with you. What's that about? That's a big lie. And you wasn't sure it was where I lived. I gave you the address and the number was on the mailbox. Are you that stupid? I don't think so. So I don't know what your problem was, but whatever it was, I don't want to be connected to it. And that's why I'm still single.